What do you say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, 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 cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging day? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. Hey, now cannonball, 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 cannonball.
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing F1 2017 Season 14, Round 16 here at Suzuka in Japan. My name is King-Kodiak, and I will be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Joining me in the commentary box once again is the Lord of the Airwaves, Mr. Hamish Sopwith.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Okay, round 15. What
16.
16 even. I was about to correct myself. Suzuka, Japan. It's a track pretty much all the drivers like. I used to love it as a driver. And it's one of the true racing tracks that's just still there. If you make a mistake, you're into the gravel. You haven't got the beauty of 50 metres of tarmac to your either side. So should be exciting and good fun.
Yeah, it's a very long-standing track. It's been in the F1 history books for a very, very long time. As you say, Hamish, it's a driver's favourite, and it's created some incredible driving spectacles in the years gone by. Now, unfortunately, just as we were getting into the server, my game crashed. So, unfortunately, we are having to reform the lobby, so we are going to be a little bit delayed in getting this event up and running, for which I do wholeheartedly apologise for. But this does give us an opportunity to talk about how close our two respective championships are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's have a look at the drivers first. Now, for those that caught the intro sequence, you will see obviously the points come up, the point standings come up as they are. So Formula Danny, or I can't pronounce this, Berezne Danny currently leads the way and has been leading the way for quite a long time on 229 points. Timp in second, 214, and Topar third, 206 23 points separates those three. Just one victory. It's all it is, and there's 5 rounds left. 125 points still on the table. Mathematically, Sven in 4th can do it. It's 118 points is his tally. Bearing in mind, he joined us very late in the season, and we were talking about this off air. The actual amount, percentage-wise, of podiums he's had, if he had been in since the start, he'd be right up there at the very sharp edge.
Absolutely. I mean, I did a little bit of a calculation earlier on, and you can see why the top 3 are so close in terms of their performance. If you look at their podium statistics, which is where all the sort of the big money, the big points are, you've got Danny on 64% of his races of podiums, Tim 66% of his races are podiums, and Topa 69% of his races are on podiums. If we look at Sven, though, it's 75, so it's quite a big jump, really, from, he's basically 10% more consistent than Danny, just a little bit more. So, considering Sven only joined us on round 8 in Azerbaijan, and obviously now round 15, he's got 6 podiums, so he's doing pretty well indeed. So I think had Sven been here from the start, he'd be right up there. But obviously it's something to look forward to for next season, see how Sven is saying he is in next season, how he compares.
Indeed. We have got 19 drivers. Just one driver is unable to join us, and that is Tiziano Brioni, who's one of the Ferraris. Car Renegade is his driver name. He's not able to join us, and he did confirm that before the race began. So that is the only driver that is missing. Now we are just getting the server back underway. All 19
Raven
drivers
as well.
Is Raven not with us tonight?
I don't think so. I can't see Raven, no.
So
Patrick Holtzman.
I was going to say, we must have a. Patrick Holtzman is replacing Car Renegade. So, therefore Raven is the space then that we have. Right then, down to the grid. Hopefully this time, if my game doesn't decide to bin me back to desktop.
Let's hope not. It did take quite a long time for me to load in last time, to be fair, and I can already see the waiting for players symbol on the left-hand side. So hopefully we will get a nice, smooth broadcast coverage for you guys today. Like we've alluded to, it's the final 5 races. There's only 125 points grabs drivers, and it is so close. I think. We obviously. I remember commentating on Tirano when he was in another league. He'd already wrapped up the championship by this point. But now, I don't think we can safely say I wouldn't put a £5 bet on any of the top 3 drivers, from winning it or running away with it. So it should be quite exciting.
We are in. It looks a little bit overcast on the grid at the moment.
Are you still there?
I am here. Can you hear me? Is there a problem? Oh, my Discord has gone cuckoo. That's interesting. Hamish now can't hear me. So that's going to be awkward. I'm just going to try and sort my Discord out. Hamish, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I was still here all along. It says I've had Discord trouble previously, so
okay.
So if I die out again, just send me a message and I will see if I can sort that out.
Okay, could you hear me then when I asked
Yes, I heard you.
Okay, that's fine. It's a good job I didn't say anything awkward or whatever.
Yeah.
We've got drivers out. Sven Zerner's the first out on. In fact, no, he isn't. I think is it ACR Tim? Is the first driver out?
Is Tim the first man out? Right, let's get this underway. So it's been a couple of weeks since we broadcast, as there was a break week last week. It is the last break in the season. It is now for Solo Racing for the next 5 weeks. That sounds great. I just realised how that sentence sounds. Wouldn't that be great? A solid race every single day. I think our drivers and our throats would be completely dead by the end of the first week. But hey, what a way to go! Most people coming out on track, and I've just been informed it is dry all the way. So this track is very, very hard in the wet, in slippery conditions.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. It's like Malaysia, though. I mean, Malaysia, we should have had. We did actually have rain in Malaysia, but yeah, it is. It's so difficult, and also the wet obviously changes. there's a lot of elevation changes on this track. You know, there's not a smooth part of track, to be honest. I mean, even the start-finish straight isn't the smoothest thing you're ever going to see. And then, 130 on the wet is absolute hell.
But in the dry, it is just... it's one of these... It's one of those... one of those elements of a track that if you can just take it flat is just the greatest sensation in the world. So most people have decided to come out. The only two people I can see still in the pit are Isaac Price and Marcel Kiefer. How many are both our Renaults? Are deciding to not... I beg your pardon. Marcel Kiefer is one of the Haas, I beg your pardon. Isaac...
Renault is Sven Zerner.
It's Sven Zerner and non-runner, yes. I had that completely wrong. And just as I said, that Marcel Kiefer is coming out. So Isaac Price is leaving very late to come out on track for some reason. So let's have a look and pick up someone that's going to be... You thought it was ACR Timp that was first man to come out.
It is. He's just coming up to their hairpin now. Really difficult. You don't have to hit the apex there. You can afford to run a little bit wide as you come around to turn... turn 8, 9 and 8. 8 and 9 and... 12, sorry. I'm getting all confused. I'm looking at the map the wrong way around. 13, 14. Such a difficult complex. You've really got to just hope you turn in and and the car flows around the corner. Then you've got this sort of back straight where you can gain a lot of time slipstream. Then you have the 130R side by side through here is nearly impossible. One of you are almost definitely going to get run off the track. Then you've got the chicane where Senna and Prost came together, and Timp is putting his foot down and across the line. Let's see what he gets. This is a respectable 127.4. That's pretty decent, actually. That's very good. Pole time is meant to be around a high 26.
27.2. Patrick Holzman in the Ferrari just thrown that one in there, so he's already got 4/10 on ACR Timp. So that's quite an impressive... Topar! I would imagine we're going to see quite a few... Oh dear, Formula Danny, 12 seconds off. I think it's fair to say he has had a bit of a problem. 27 dead at the moment is Topar. Now, his continuing form, he had a bit of a blip in his incredible form 2 rounds ago at Singapore, but he got crushed against the wall. But again, he got an impressive second place last time out. Sven Zerner was the winner last race, so that's blown the championship wide open. Formula Danny didn't score, so his championship hopes are still in there. But of course, he still leads the championship, but it was heavily damaged when he didn't get any points on the board. Brendan Lee has put the Red Bull into 4th position.
Oh, it looks like... Fizzy's just hit the barrier big time. Well, I'm trying to find out whereabouts that is.
Yeah, can't tell by that.
That's Degner 2.
It is, yeah.
So he's lucky to still be there. I mean, considering his car flipped the other way, he must have got some pretty catastrophic snap oversteer. He has got a lap on the board. Brandon Lee, you were talking about earlier, it's worth noting he's done virtually no practice. He's obviously been busy over the course of a weekend or week or whatever it is, so he hasn't done much practice, although a driver of his level should just be able to jump in and be fast, so I wouldn't say that's an excuse.
He's choosing to... Most people that were ahead of him chose to do another lap, and Brendan's actually putting on 3rd now, 127.4.
Wow.
So he did improve on his previous. Formula Danny has put it in 4th position with a 127.5. So we're seeing some pretty close gaps between each car. Basically a 10th between each position at the moment, but I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that condensed down as the session progresses.
No, I mean, at the moment, the top 10 are within a second or just over with Segro, who is 1.04. Isaac decides to come into the pits, bizarrely, after setting fairly mediocre lap.
Marcel Kiefer sticks it in 2nd, 127.1.
Wow, nice. Under a 10th behind, so good job from him.
Very nice, very nice. So again, another strong showing by the Haas pairing. Formula Danny currently 5th, Marcel in 2nd. Topar is in the pits at the moment. Brendan, I'm assuming he's going to come in. I wouldn't think, surely he's not got enough No, his fuel light is a very much red, so he will not be doing another lap. You wouldn't really expect to do 3 laps back to back in the dry. And he's actually run out of fuel. He's crawling along.
No, you definitely wouldn't want to do 3 laps. And these are your race start tyres, remember. So that really would not be good. I'm surprised. I imagine Brendan is using this as a practice session, to be honest. Marcel Kiefer, you're talking about for Haas. This is where the Constructors' Championship can be won or lost, where you have someone like Marcel, who's pretty new still. This is his 5th race ever in LR Split 1. So it's where these guys can make a huge difference. And if Danny performs better than he did last week, then that could put Haas in a strong position to win the Constructors. And it also means that the better Marcel is doing, the more chance of, Danny's competitors are behind him. So it's a win-win, really.
Everyone except for Marcel Kiefer and Kalon. Kalon's actually running out of fuel, I think, as in the pits at the moment. Oh, no, just as I say that, Fizzy has first man back out on track, very closely followed by Riker Gordon. So Fizzy then looking to improve on his position. But yeah, we were talking earlier that the Drivers' Championship is very, very close. The Constructors, it's even closer, with 264 for Haas, 263 for Mercedes, and 259 for Toro Rosso. Just 5 points separates the top 3 teams. Renault in 4th, obviously with their recent driver signings, proving pretty fortuitous for them. But they're 111 points adrift of the lead. So it's, again, possible, but going to be a very long shot for the Renault pairing of Svensson and non-runner. Red Bull's only 6 points behind Renault, so that is Brendan Lee and who's the other one? It's ACR Nobody is the other Red Bull. So again, a decent squabbling going on there. Sauber 131, a few points, 16 behind Red Bull. Then 35 down is Williams. The Williams pairing being Carl Hamilton and Raven. We already know that we don't have Raven for this evening. He's unfortunate. He's missed quite a few rounds, sadly. But he is in America, to be fair. So time zones obviously proving a little bit difficult for him. As the closing stages go on, we've got McLaren 196, Ferrari on 224. Sorry, that's how many points they are away from the top. I'm reading the wrong numbers. Williams 96, McLaren 68, Ferrari on 40, and Force India on 36. This is probably a bit of a sore point for the Pink Panthers, of course. Wycombs, who started very strongly in the season before he had terrible technical difficulties, still has scored the most points for the Force India team, and he pulled out very, very much quite a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, Wycombs back in the day, well, I say back in the day, quite a few rounds ago, I think, was it Spain or something was one of his last races? I might be wrong about that.
Something like that, yeah.
But he was definitely in the hunt for the Drivers' Championship with his pace. He's going to hate me for saying that because he is in chat.
And he's a stunning driver.
Wycombs has won the championship in our mind.
But I mean, let's not forget, this is the top split out of a considerable number of splits. There are, for PC alone, there's 10 others at least.
10 including this one.
10 including this one, beg your pardon. Is that including the 2 assist leagues?
That is including.
That is included. Yeah, I couldn't remember if that was with or without them. And you've got to think how many drivers that encompasses. These are the very best. So even though some of these guys may be struggling to score points each round, they're still phenomenal drivers. Let's not forget that.
Absolutely. I mean, we've had people like Fabio Donoso. He was second in esports. I mean, he's just not really. He's had a good qualifying pace. On average, he's qualified in like 7th on the grid or something.
Speaking of which, he's just been at the Degners.
That's not what he wanted to do. Is he going to have enough time to get around? No, he
isn't.
Oh, yes, maybe, just.
Oh, he's absolutely floor it. But he's got no fuel. He's down. He's already fuel like red, so, oh dear, he's going to be starting near the back.
Ouch. Well, yeah. We're talking about his good qualifying, so he's really got to do something now. I mean, he hasn't scored a point yet.
No.
And he was an esports podium sitter.
Absolutely, he was second behind Brendan Lee. So Absolutely. He's that just shows how good he is. He just has not had a little bit of bad luck, a little bit. Oh, there we go. I was just wondering if we were going to get a new pole time by 500ths of a second. It is Patrick Holtzman in the Ferrari, 127.017.
Wow.
Oh, we've lost Sven.
Showing.
Sven's retired from the session, so he's called it a day. He's down in 5th.
P5?
Yeah,
Okay,
P5.
but I think Patrick's time's beatable, to be honest. I think we should see drivers into the 26s. So I put some money on possibly Danny if he's... In fact, it doesn't look like he's giving it that much. So I'm not sure what he's doing. Brandon's really pushing, or Brendan even. I always get his name.
You always say Brandon.
I used to have a really good friend called Brendan, and here
Topa! There it is.
He showed with a sub 27. Good job from him. Marcel Kiefer, he was originally right up there. He still is. He's in P3. How's he looking? We should have a split time any second now, and it will tell us what he's looking like. Is it now 31.5? That seems decent. Now, good braking after 100 meters board into the chicanes. He's negotiated it well, used plenty of track. On the power early, he's at the least amount of fuel. He's coming across the line now. It's a 20. Oh!
6 thousandths of a second behind Topar. 34 thousandths is Holtzman's time to Topar. All that is close to the top 3. Then you've got a couple of tenths for Carl Hamilton in 4th. Brendan qualified in 5th. Formula Danny is still out there, apparently. He's not yet classified as done. We'll see how he... As Patrick Holtzman comes into the pit, my God, that is close to the top. I think Formula Danny's the last one on the lap. He is. We'll follow him through, see if he's able to improve.
No, he's nowhere near.
He's in the pits.
Seconds off anyway.
Oh, dear.
So yeah, he obviously span out or did something. He's had a couple of bad runs actually. Has Danny? He had a bad first run and a bad last run, so I only gave him his middle run to optimise his position.
That's how it happens sometimes. We were talking before the last round. It just takes one bad result to completely shuffle the championship order, which is exactly then what happened to Formula Danny. Then he's out at the points. So that just shows how close it is and how costly a mistake can be.
Yeah, I mean Timp's down in 8th. That's not good either. I mean Topa's two main rivals, Danny and Timp, are really, they're not really anywhere on the grid. Well, in P6.
I think of why they are on the grid. That would be an easy one for Topa if they don't start at all.
It will be indeed. He'll be leading the championship after this round.
Yeah, just a tad.
It's mathematically possible. 23 points behind.
Yep,
we are waiting for something to happen.
Well, for those that haven't yet officially retired, like for instance, Timp's car is still cruising around out there for some strange reason. It hasn't actually retired back to the pits. So, I mean, the session is going to end in 10 seconds anyway.
Well, we may as well walk you guys through the grid. So, Topa, what lap time he got? It's a 26.9. That's sub 27. So, good job from him. He's going to be pleased with pole position.
And only two drivers broke that 127 mark as well.
In P2, we have Marcel Kiefer for Haas. Very good, solid job from him. What a result for Ferrari. This could be pretty game-changing for their constructor, Patrick Holtzman. He's not an official driver, he's a reserve, so good job from him. Still under a 10th. Carl Hamilton for Williams, Brendan Lee, Formula Danny, Sven Zerner, Timp, Max, decent qualifying from him, and Isaac in the top 10. Again, I think he'll be pleased with that half a second. The top 13 are within that 1 second, which we often see. Job from all those drivers.
Here we go then. And it's as was mentioned to me earlier, the sun is out, so the temperatures are going to be a bit higher. So we'll see how that affects tyre management for these guys. I think everybody qualified on the super soft tyres. I didn't spot anybody trying anything different. So any last minute adjustments to setups and strategies are being done now. And ready or not, we will be going in 20 seconds. And I look forward to more. I say that every time. I look forward to the race. I genuinely do. But it's just about kind of like now when the adrenaline just peaks through the ceiling. Some races more so than others. And Suzuka well, any racing fan will know how much it gets the old adrenaline going. But down to the grid then. 4, 5 lights, wind them up and let them, long old delay, and let them go then. Will the Mercedes of Topar be able to fend off Marcel Kiefer? Marcel jumps behind him. Oh, look at that, Williams of Kyle Hamilton. I think it's going to side by side with the Ferrari. Great start then from the second row. So we get down to... Oh, Patrick Holzman has actually been able to hold on to that. Brendan Lee flew through to take that 4th position through the SS. As always, very, very brave at this stage of the game. Look at that. That's Formula Danny trying to do something to improve his position. And there's the Renault Sven Serner trying to get through. Tim's right there as well. It's always a very nail-biting moment when the cars are this close together, especially in somewhere like the SS.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't really go side by side in the S's, and if you go offline, it compromises your speed so much. Danny almost got overtaken by Sven multiple times, and Sven's got a good drive actually off that hairpin, but hasn't been able to do anything with it.
Topar then trying to keep Marcel Kiefer at bay, but he's already got 4 tenths apparently, which is quite impressive already going on. Max looks like he's falling through the order a little bit. Oh, is ACR nobody in trouble? I think there's just lots of swapping of positions going on at the moment.
He started well, did nobody? He got up into P10, but he's obviously lost a couple of positions. Surely not going to try and move him 30R on the first lap when the car's at their heaviest. He doesn't, breaking into their chicane and locks up quite badly actually. I think Federer's going to take a look.
Marcel Kiefer keeping the pressure on Topar at the moment, but about 3/10 separating each car in the top 3. Patrick Holtzman, it's already started to fall behind a little bit of Marcel Kiefer. He's got Brendan Lee right with him. And we've got trouble. That's a big impact. Back there, we've got Tim that's in trouble. Yeah, big chunk of wing missing from Tim.
And Sven.
Oh my goodness me, we saw it. Oh, we've lost Sven. Oh my goodness me, we have lost. You see a big chunk of wing missing on the Renault. I mean, the car is drivable from our perspective. Oh goodness me, that's Kyle Hamilton that spun as well. So it is all going off. But Tim is going to be sick with that. The car is going to be horrible at this stage in the race, and he's going to fall a very long way back behind the field.
Oh, he's getting overtaken left, right, and centre. Federer's just tried to move him, and that is so disappointing.
We've lost Kyle Hamilton as well, so that's 2 drivers out before the end of lap 2.
I'm just wondering if Patrick Holtzman is staying back because of the dirty air effect, especially in that S section. You really don't want it because the understeer is just horrendous. So I'm thinking that might be why he's holding back. I don't think he's playing all his cards yet.
Long way to go. There's a long way to go. It's half normal race distance, but of course there is still the strategic element, especially as Tim has got to make probably a little bit of an earlier pit stop than he would have liked. He's gonna really, really hurt him. Where is he? He's just coming up to the pit lane entry now.
Yeah, he's going to go on to mediums, I would have thought.
Surely.
Last, I'm not entirely sure. Most drivers will be doing a super soft. Tim will almost definitely be going on to the mediums. Unless he's going to try a very aggressive strategy. He's going on to the mediums. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, goodness me. ACR Nobody did a lovely move on the outside of Max AFC. Isaac Price, beg your pardon, for 7th position. Crikey, that was brave. He's on the soft tyres in that Red Bull. It looks like Isaac Price is in real trouble because he's already got Slick and the McLaren all over his tail. He was a sitting duck for the Red Bull, and that was a great move by ACR Nobody at that moment.
Yeah, nobody seems to be playing. What's Isaac doing? He just let Slick pass.
Slick through. He is in great trouble. The front wing looks okay.
No, it's fine. I think he must have done something he's not overly happy with. Nobody's been playing ping pong with the grid. He was down in. He was up in 10th, down in 12th, up in 7th.
Yeah.
What next? Max, good job from him, up in P6.
Yeah.
That's where we used to see him, but then he's had this little bit of inconsistency where he's kind of just about nudged into a point. So hopefully, on his first race back after being absent last week, he's going to be able to challenge. But the top 5 are close, just 3 seconds, 1st to 5th.
We will see how the race pans out then. There's always the element of penalties, of course. We do sometimes see the drivers pushing a little bit too hard to try and increase their position. Now DRS is in use, and Isaac Price is in, so he did have a problem of some description. And from the onboard, you can actually see there's elements missing of the left side. So yeah, that's the front wing gone, and the game is not telling me. Oh, soft tyres going on for the Mercedes. So another front wing change, and he's sat there. We've lost we've lost nobody. A disconnection from ACR Nobody. What a travesty.
That is a great shame. He was doing so well. I've just seen Sem or Gem in the chat, even not Sem. Why am I saying that? Obviously, he was an esports finalist and contender, so awesome to see him in the chat. But yeah, great shame for Nobody. It looks like Marcel was right behind Topa now. He's half a second. DRS is obviously enabled here on lap 4. Topa's got a little bit wide, actually. That's not going to help him on the exit of Spoon. And let's see if Marcel can do anything in the slipstream up towards 130R. I think it's unlikely.
A little bit too far back.
A little bit too far back.
Interestingly, Tim has gone onto the soft tyres, so he didn't go with what you thought he might do and go for the mediums. So probably on the basis of they won't last, so why be that much slower? How long are these super softs due to last for? Do we think?
I would stay up until you can probably get up to lap 11, to be honest. But I'd be looking to pit lap 9. I would say. Especially if you're out the front, it's just a case of reading your pit window and see where you come out. You need to try and know the gaps. So, for example, there's quite a nice little gap from Max to Slick, and if drivers know that, then that's what they're going to be aiming to do. They need to make sure that they're 23 seconds ahead of Slick for the first pit stop, which is possible with another 5 laps to go.
Jumping down to 10th place Fabrizio Donoso, who is right under the rear wing of Segro in the McLaren. He's got ACR Failer not far ahead of the McLaren as well. He's going to get a move. Is he going to try and move into Degno? He had the pace, but wisely chose not to throw on the inside. These guys are, Fabrizio and Segro on the medium tyres, Failer on the softs, and he's that Force India's all over the back. We had a problem. It's Kalon. Kalon's off for Degna 2, and he's overcooked it. You were lucky your car ghosted, but that is ATR Nobody's ghosted car anyway. So Kalon, his race is pretty much mullered at this stage.
Fizzy's trying to move from Rico Gordon on the inside just before spooning. That's a really good effort by him. That was a nice little move. And now Fizzy can crack on and catch up Non-Runner and Fab Racer. Maybe even get points for Force Ninja, which would be a bit of a blessing. They need every point they can get with just 36 at the moment. Indeed.
But yeah, Fabrizio Donoso is, look at this, you've got a big old chain of cars here. This is Failer, Seagrove, Fabrizio Donoso and Non-Runner all in this. Goodness me, Fabrizio Donoso looked like he was had a slam into the back of Seagrove, but Seagrove's had a good run on the exit of the Casio Triangle, probably due to the fact that Donoso had to get out of it, and Donoso's then reeled him straight back in again into the first turn. Now coming through the S's, unless he tries something very, very brave. Few people have, but it's very hard to do through the S's.
It's interesting that Failer on the soft compound tyres is actually slower than Segro and Fab Racer on the medium compound tyres. And you can't help but think the Fab Racer, or Donoso, as you guys might know him as, he's so much faster. Look at the speed he's carrying through the Degnas. In fact, I think he's going to try and move up into the hairpin. Surely not around the outside. You don't need to hit the apex, so he is going to carry speed even through the corner. Late braking, and what a fabulous...
And he's got it done.
Nice one.
He did lock up a bit, but to be fair, that was absolutely... And this is the kind of sort of real aggressive driver we have not seen from Donoso's. We've seen it in kind of flashes, but it's not been that consistent. We haven't seen a lot of it. But let's hope that Donoso can really get the hammer down. We saw he had trouble during qualifying. Crikey, where would he have been if he'd got a decent lap in? We will never know. And Max is the first person to get a 3-second penalty. That's from 6th position as well, so he needs to be careful there as Tim continues his charge to recover some positions. He's got another 13 seconds to go to get to Riker Gordon as ATR Nobody's ghosted car continues to fall to the back. So that's 3 ghosts to the back we have now, unfortunately. Let's have a look. Go on.
I was just going to say, Fab Racer is still doing pretty well. He's 18 seconds behind the leader, so that's not awful.
Oh, so another front wing change. Oh, beg your pardon there, Hamish. Another front wing change going on there. That's Ryko Gordon. I thought it was a bit odd. He was coming in on the mediums, but yeah, that's that pretty much spelled the end for him. But the super soft runners, I don't think none of them have stopped yet. But Marcel Kiefer, yet again, all over the back of Topar, and they have broken away from Patrick Holzman. So, and Brendan is not able to really do much. So these Supersoft tyres are probably getting to the point where they are, they are just done.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Brendan come into the pits very soon, and maybe even Patrick as well. Only because there's a nice little gap forming from Kalon.
If you're going to do it properly. Oh, that's on the way down to Degner 1. 3 wheels on that wagon. That's probably frustration. We saw him having that big spin. Maybe some damage on that Toro Rosso beforehand. And another casualty of this race has been claimed.
Yeah, I mean, like you alluded to earlier, Max's 3-second time penalty isn't going to affect him at the moment. No. So, because he has got a nice little gap back the slick. So, in fact, Max is sort of in no man's land. He's not really got the pace of the leaders, but he isn't quite, the back end of midfield either. So he's kind of just got solid midfield pace. And P6, that's what we've been used to seeing Max doing. He's one of the best at being constantly consistent.
Oh, look at this. Non-runner is all over the back of Segura now. And non-runner on the soft shod Renault.
Wow.
He's almost pushing that McLaren along. And you've got Donoso that is all over the back of Failer as well. Oh, and that was Segura ran wide on the exit of the S's. He very wisely bailed on that, so as he didn't try and pull back into the racing line, knowing that he just overcooked it, and that has given 10th position to non-runner. Oh, bit of a lock up there coming into the hairpin. But you've got to say, Fabrizio Donoso is trying his best to, if he can get past Failure, it would be easy to assume he's just going to sprint off into the distance. We've got a battle here for 4th, Brendan Lee and Formula Danny. So that has been going on for quite a while. And that's probably been part of the reason that Brendan's fallen back off of Patrick Holzman. And also the battle for the lead. The front runner's still not coming in. Carl Hamilton is coming in. Oh, no, so did I say actually, Formula Danny is in. Ooh, he must have only just managed to slow that down. Just see, actually ahead is Carl Hamilton. He's come in. That's another front wing change. So, that's a fair bit of carbon fibre being expanded. Now, what does Formula Danny go on to? He's gone on to the soft tyres. That's going to be a fairly common pit stop strategy, I would think. But no front wing for him. He's still going to come a long way down the field. He's going to be in 11th, but of course on much fresher boots.
He has got a good gap, which is good for me. He's came out of that little gap I was alluding to earlier with it was Fizian, Fizian, whoever was ahead of him.
Oh, Donoso again. Look at that. He is pushing that Sauber along the road, but he has got the Renault non-runner now right with him. So he can't entirely just look ahead. Whoa, he had a look on it. That would have been very, very brave to throw it on the inside of Degner 1. Now, is he going to try this again? He had a look on the... He is. He's going for it. He's gone side by side with the Sauber. Can he outbrake Fader? He's done it once. Can he do it twice? It's bold, it's beautiful, and it is done. Fabrizio Donoso up into 7th position, as Slick's not too far up the road either. It is all going to be a case of can he keep those behind him, as already Fader's having a look on the... Oops, Isaac Price now gives him his name on the penalty board. Fabrizio Donoso almost ran wide through Spoon, and crikey, look at that, he's already beginning to build a gap. I wonder whether Fader didn't have a particularly good throw through Spoon. Now charging down to 130R. And again, it just looks like that Force India is working very well, although he just locked up pretty badly coming into the Casio Triangle.
I'm afraid it's time for the banter to go next level, because I must admit the Donoso dive is phenomenal.
Excellent.
Dear. The jokes are horrendous.
How long have you been hanging on to that one for?
Honestly, pretty much as soon as Donoso made that move, I did just think of it.
Okay, you hadn't been hanging on to it for like 10 rounds or something like that.
Oh no. Yeah, I did wait for that for one time where Donoso finishes the race. In
the points we should add. He has...
Yeah, in the points. Yeah. Well, so Kiefer, he's dropping. Like, like a stone from Topa, though. He's at 1.5. It was 1 second, literally half a lap ago. So
yeah,
I don't know if his tyres have absolutely had it, and by the looks of his driving, they have. He's getting a lot of understeer.
He's sliding everywhere.
He's going to be able to catch up now.
Yeah, surely he's got to come in now. He's losing time badly. You can see the gap between the Haas and the Mercedes at the moment. Surely Marcel's got to come in.
Yeah, I would have thought so. There becomes a point where some drivers are just better at conserving tyres than other drivers. Let's see if Marcel comes in. Yes, he does, but so does Topa. So it's a battle between Mercedes and Haas for pit stops. Topa looked like he was braking super late. Topa onto the
Holtzman has continued. Brendan's come in as well. So the 3 of the top 4 have decided to pit at the same time. So that's going to be soft all round, I would have thought.
Yes, it is. It is soft. Oh no,
Brendan's on medium.
Mediums apparently. That could be wrong. I'm going to check.
That's what I can see as well. Topa. Oh, that was brilliant stop for Topa. He's come out in 4th. Brendan has come out in 10th. He will not be best pleased about that because he's of course on the slower tyre and in a lot of traffic. Topa timed that brilliantly well, right behind the ever-charging Fabrizio Donoso. But depends how much life that Donoso has left in those tyres. Oh my goodness! Ooh. Oh, either we let him through or he was just getting very out of shape through the S's. And what an opportunistic move by Topa. Wow! Threw it through S's and made it stick. 3rd place already for Topa. Does Patrick Holtzman? Yeah, we just cut to him actually as he got that 3-second penalty. Went a little bit too wide on the exit of Spoon. I wonder whether that's where. Oh, non-runner, is he in trouble? Oh, he's had a moment somewhere around the Degners, I think that is, and he's just lost a lot of positions at the one time. He's probably one mistake that's been very, very. Oh no! We've been calling your praises all race long so far, and that's how you repay us, Donoso. Goodness me!
Sorry, Kodiak, there's a fantastic move. Danny on the inside with 130R on Segro, surely not. And wow, I mean, it wasn't quite inside of 130R, but it was pretty damn close. I mean, that was a fabulous move by Danny. Obviously, Segro hasn't pitted yet.
Holtzman has.
Medium tyres. Yes, he has, you're right. I imagine he'd go onto those soft compound tyres.
He did indeed. And where's he going to... Goodness me, look how close. I mean, he comes out. Bear in mind, he was 15-ish seconds ahead. He's come out in 10th. That just shows you how close the top 10 are.
Yeah, and Topa's in a fantastic position. He's got Slick at the moment, and he's going to try and move on the inside.
Wow!
Move. But now... he's got the 1, 2, 3 drivers, that Slick, Fabrice and Failer, to Marcel Kiefer, which is his main rival. This is massive for Topa. I mean, these points, this might be the race that allows him to win the championship if it finishes now.
I would defy him to say his buttocks didn't clench to the point that he threw that on the inside of Slick through the S's. My God, that was brave. And wow, did it work. He is now clear. He's already got out of DRS range from the McLaren. Donoso is just getting to the back of Slick now. So Donoso, if he's still got a decent amount of life on those tyres, could still continue to push on. So Slick has still got to come in. I assume Slick has to come in. Yes, he does, as of course does Donoso. Marcel Kiefer, the next one down the road that has pitted. He's in 4th. He will easily jump those 2. My goodness me, who's that? That's Failer that flew off the road. And we have a problem in Sector 3, apparently. It's non-runner.
It is
oh!
wrong way in 130R.
And no nose.
He tried a move. But that is not good because, well, at least a non-runner hasn't pitted. In fact, he'd probably be wanting to come in on this lap anyway. Yeah, well,
that's a new nose cone for the Renault then because, yeah, he'd pretty much... Oh, dear.
He's waiting for drivers. I've been shouted at by nobody in chat. I've been shouted by nobody in chat. That doesn't work, does it? But hey, it does in this case.
You've said it now. You've got on this train. You can ride it to the end.
Bad Race is going to be quick here, as this is how we qualified for esports. So nobody obviously has that other knowledge, which me and Kodiak don't necessarily know. Or have available.
Oh, Donoso on the inside of Slick of the hairpin. He's done 2 moves on the outside of the hairpin, but he could not make a stick. We're on board with Marcel Kiefer at the moment. He's got a great ringside seat for that battle. That car up ahead is not Topar. Topar's already 3.5 seconds down the road. That's actually the ghosted ACR Nobody. So that car's obviously not going to play a part in this particular battle. Now, Donoso, look at this. Marcel Kiefer's a great drive on the exit of Spoon. He's being pushed to the wall. Ooh, he had to back out. There was no room for him to carry that one on. And yeah, that was only going to go wrong if he tried to keep that move going.
Look how close it is. Is Fabulosa going to... Oh, gosh. Is Fabulosa going to get a good move on Slick? Kiefer's also got a fantastic exit as well. Surely Slick isn't going to get overtaken by both of them. And it just looks like Donoso hasn't quite got the straight line speed. Maybe he's running a bit more wing than Slick, which is why
what's happened to Failer?
Slight disadvantage.
Failer's made a mistake. He's just lost a couple of positions. But also he's got people around him that have pitted. So Failer is just... did I see that? Yeah, he hasn't pitted. So he's running those soft tyres pretty much to bald.
Yeah, what tyres Failer on?
Soft.
Yeah.
Oh, Donoso side by side. Sorry again, Hamish. Ooh! The Haas just came steaming up towards Fab Donoso. Sleek's got himself a penalty now. Look at this now. 4-car train formula. Danny is now involved in this mission. Oh, impact! Impact! We saw a piece of wing. Donoso's lost that position to Marcel Kiefer. Who's oh my God! Marcel Kiefer actually claimed both of them. What a great move!
Donoso's going round the outside of Slick, hasn't been able to do anything as of yet. Oh, Donoso getting so close, almost running into the back. Marcel Kiefer goes a little bit wide. That's not going to affect him too much with Slick right behind him. Is Donoso going to get that fantastic drive he got last time?
Oh, Danny is though. Look at that. Danny's now put himself in that exact same position. Both Haas trying the exact same move on the same Force India, and the result was the same. Neither of them had got through at that particular point. Ooh, goodness me! You saw Formula Danny had to really brake hard to stop piling into the back of the Pink Panther. But all the pressure now seems to be on Fabrizio Donoso. He's lost that early pace. Oh! He just let him through. He just let Formula Danny through. Maybe he just felt that at this point in time, Formula Danny had the better pace. He could just sort of think, I haven't got any points. Let's get this one home in the points. I'm not meaning that as a critical comment, but it could just be he's playing the longer game as opposed to trying to fight a car he need not do.
No, I mean, I would imagine. Damn! Donoso almost stuck it into the gravel. That wouldn't have been good. I imagine Donoso on those medium tyres is going to run very long and then do a quick super soft towards the end. I just want to make a quick comment on Topar, as hopefully we're not going to get any major overtakes within the next 30 seconds. He got a little bit of criticism from a couple of drivers on the first, few rounds. But I must admit, he's obviously, learned from how he was driving, and he's turned out to be a fine driver, hasn't he? Some of the moves we've seen him being able to pull off, the consistencies he's had, the pole positions, a run of what? 5, not pole positions, race win, what was it? Three
in a row, and he's been in the podium for something like 7 of the last 10 rounds or something like that. It's really since Silverstone. Silverstone was when it really turned around for Topar. And let's, just jumping back to Timp as well. He's worked his way up to 12th and only a couple of seconds up. Slick's in the pits. Just suddenly saw Formula Danny in Slick's position, but the McLaren's in
as well.
So that's going to drop Slick a long way down just because of how close he can get.
We've got to move Fab Race on the inside, and Brendan Lee almost spinning Brendan, trying around the outside. So close. Brendan has obviously pitted, but wow, Donoso really didn't want to give that position up. Next in line for Donoso is Patrick Holtzman, one of the again another esports finalist. Oh wow, he's pretty much bump drafting.
Yeah.
Donoso, is Donoso going to let him through? Yes, he did. In fact, he let him through at the same place where he let Danny through. Always Holtzman almost goes wide.
Yeah, so that's down to 6th position for Holtzman. Holtzman's in the wall. The Ferrari's made a big mistake on the Digna 2, and he's down to 9th. Oh no, he's gone! We've lost Patrick Holtzman. Another disconnection then from this race. Oh my goodness me, we're not going to have anybody left by the time we hit the checkered flag.
No, that's very disappointing. I was looking forward to see how he was going to carve through the field, to be honest, Patrick. But we've got Fab Racer down to Segro, who haven't pitted. and Segro and Failer are in a nice little battle. I doubt Segro's going to try and move on Failer and 130R.
Seeger is stuck right in between both of the Saubers then, as they've just come through 130R. Yeah, a little bit, he wisely chose not to throw it on the inside. Look at that, both Saubers on the soft. The McLaren and Fabrice has actually come in quite wisely. Those mediums must be completely dead. You can see him on the right hand side there. Now the DRS is going to come in. What's going to happen here? Oh, you saw Failer take a very defensive line. It's going to compromise him into turn 1, but Seeger can't capitalise on that.
You know what I think, Kodiak? I think...
Whoa! Oh my god!
Max, and wow, fair play for Max. What a move. Now, is Failer just going to let Max go? I would imagine that is what they have are talking about at the moment. So let's see what Failer does.
Yeah.
And I would say no.
It could be that... I think he might be trying to, is that Max can't quite get the power when he needs it, and now Segro is going to try and capitalise on that. He's actually overtaken Failer, so that has gone very badly wrong for Failer. But Segro has gone deep into the hairpin. Can now Failer do anything about it? Jumping back on board with the second Sauber, and oh goodness me, Failer intended to swap position with Max, and that has actually cost him the position to the McLaren. So the Saubers have just completely swapped round.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. It's just Segro is just sort of with all that, carnage. He's just sort of been stuck in the middle. But Matt was a classic point there. What Segro just made by locking up into the hairpin. You don't actually need to hit the apex. It really doesn't affect you. Sven Zerner obviously disconnecting early on. It looks like Brendan and Formula Danny, we could have quite a juicy battle forming.
Segro and Failer come in.
So, which team are going to have a better pit stop, McLaren or Sauber?
Isaac Price has come in as well. Barely seen him all race long. And super soft for Failer.
Interesting.
He was held for a little bit there.
Maybe. Yeah, they should last 9 laps. In fact, what tyre is
soft for Segro?
Fabrice on. So that's interesting. Fabrice is in P7 and he's pitted. This is looking pretty good. And Slick has that 3-second penalty, remember, so he only needs to gain 6 seconds on Slick, who's on also on super soft compound tyre.
It is all going off as Tim has just set the fastest lap of the race. He's in 12th. He's, of course, been through the pits again. He's gaining on. That's Fizzy directly ahead of him. So that'll put him in 11th. And Patrick Holzman, he's only... Well, there you go. You've just seen him in the shot. He's ghosted. Of course, we lost him earlier on. So there's...
Don't get too excited. But Fizzy might get points for Force India. This is huge. So... Let's hope he does, because he does deserve points, does Fizzy. The amount of work he puts into AOR and what have you, he deserves to get a few points every now and again. But it does look like Tim is going to try and deny him, and Tim will want to keep hold of that championship charge with his 2 main rivals, one leading the race, and nearly by 7 seconds as well, and Formula Danny in 3rd. Tim is going to be chomping at the bit to get past that Force India and try and regain some ground, but there's the gaps between each car that he's got to face are pretty big as Raikkonen Gordon. Oops, and the Ferrari gets himself another penalty. Let's have a look then. Let's have a check-in on where everybody is. There is Topa and the Mercedes. Once again, absolutely peerless. He had to do a fair bit of fighting early on, but since the pit stop phase, he timed his pit stop to perfection, coming out in 4th and then running off 7 seconds ahead of this man, Marcel Kiefer, who joined the season very late, but is doing a fine job. Haas in 2nd and 3rd. Formula Danny, our current championship leader, is going to be quite happy with that, but he has got Brendan Lee right with him. And as you alluded to earlier, Hamish, that is a battle that is waiting to happen. Brendan is going to be within DRS range, so Formula Danny can't have it all his own way just yet. Max AOC, a very solid 5th position for him in the Sauber. He'll be quite pleased with that. Big gap down to Slick and the McLaren. So again, a decent haul of points for him. Fabrizio Donoso on course, finally, to break that duck that he's got for the Force India team. Segro in the McLaren. He is currently in 8th position with ACR Failer a couple of seconds down from him, and then Timp has managed to clear Fizzy with the amount of the rate of knots he had over the Pink Panther. That's not a great surprise. We'll see if Timp is able to improve on there, but that is going to hurt.
Let's keep an eye, though, on Brendan Lee for third position. Now 6/10 behind the Haas. It is on right here. It's still got 8 laps to go, so still a decent amount of distance to travel. But Formula Danny will not want... He may well opt for the safer option to let the Red Bull go, but we will see. Oh, now that's something you don't see very often.
Wow. There we go. So, Force India might get some solid points. Fab Racer, he's up 12 positions. I mean, what a race he's had. What a drive. Brendan and Formula Danny, well, Brendan hasn't really got anything to lose, to be honest.
True.
Danny has. In fact, Danny has a championship to lose. Brendan has absolutely nothing. He's not in a mathematical position.
No, mathematically impossible for Brendan.
He's just here to prove that he is the fastest driver.
And he is piling the pressure on. So has Formula Danny burnt the best out of those soft tyres, or is he conserving the best of those soft tyres for later on? We will see. Brendan, like I say, is doing what he does, and he's piling the pressure on. Is he going to try? Surely he's a little bit too far back to try something through 130R now, heading down to the Casio Triangle.
Going to have a DRS vote for short down the back straight. So if he needs to get a good exit, obviously those medium tyres, it's a completely opposite strategy to what Danny has opted for. Brendan came in much earlier. He hasn't quite got the speed. He has moved to the inside to have a look, but it's not going to become anything. So I think this will be how they are for the rest of this lap until the start-finish line next lap.
Could well be, but we have seen some very interesting and brave overtaking manoeuvres going on, so never discount it. And we'll see how well, if at all, because Formula Danny chooses to defend against the Red Bull. Now heading towards the Degners. I've seen a few misadventures going on here. It seems fairly clean. Now, if Brendan gets a decent exit from Degner 2, is he going to try something at the hairpin? No, a little bit too far back at the moment. And go on.
Oh, okay. So the driver's a little bit spaced out. This is the only major battle at the moment. Whether it will come to life right at the end, we are yet to see. But this is a podium position. Danny really needs to think now. He's obviously got Topa. Topa's 23 points behind him. If Formula Danny finishes in fourth, he's going to collect 12. But Isaac's got himself another 3-second time.
Oh dear.
Where is Isaac? Oh, he's outside.
He's outside of the points, and he's also 13 seconds ahead of Raiko, who also has penalties. So that may not affect his particular position at all. Now Brendan Lee once again. Is he going to try and muscle his way past the Haas again? Formula Danny just getting the traction when he needs it to be able to defend against the Red Bull. So again, it's not going to be an easy manoeuvre. It is going to be either force a mistake or throw the car and hope it sticks for Brendan at the moment. The way that Formula Danny is doing a brilliant job of keeping the esports champion behind him. Oh, that gets very close. Ooh, bit of a lag moment there for Formula Danny. That would have made Brendan wince a little bit.
Yeah, Danny came into pit on lap 8. I mean,
wow.
So he came in pretty early. Brendan, on the other hand, he came in lap 10. But obviously his tire, I think their tyres will... Pointers. Brendan has a look. If Danny and Brendan swap positions, Topa will be just 10 points behind Danny in the championship.
Very, very close indeed. Danny has got it all to do for a fair... I mean, if we were on the last lap, Danny could, at least have the end in sight, so to speak, but he can't think about that right now. He's just got to think every corner, where will that Red Bull go, how can I keep him behind? But again, you've seen it there. The soft shod Haas has just got the traction at the important points where Brendan Lee could, I'd say, easily capitalise, but it would make for a slightly less risky overtake manoeuvre. And there again, that's what half a second looks like from driver's eye view. Yes, again, Formula Danny getting the traction when he needs it and keeping Brendan behind, forcing Brendan to closing during the corners, but also to either hope for a mistake or think about a very risky move that could pay off, but it could put both of them in the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the point where the soft tyres, you can really use that extra, a little bit of grip but it's still available to Danny. He can just use the rears. What he's going to do, he's just controlling the rear temps. He's not, he probably could push a bit more if he really wanted to, but he's just using the maximum traction and grip available to him at needs must. So, for example, we're talking about the hairpin where he's gone a little bit wide. He is going to get good traction. So, Brendan shouldn't overtake him coming to spoon, and I don't think he is. But
I think he had a decent drive, but not quick enough, because of course Formula Danny did have a wider line through, probably not by design, through the hairpin, so that it did enable for a bit of a quicker exit. But now is going to be crucial. Again, that actually, once again, Formula Danny getting the traction when he needs it and building that gap up to make it really impossible for Brendan to make a move without it being very, very dangerous. Oh, hello, I've just seen another battle. Segro and Fabrizio Donoso, they've caught up with one another. So, who's been ahead of who? Not entirely sure, because we've been so focusing on Formula Danny and Brendan.
Donoso has been in P7 for quite some time, so it's actually Segro who has the advantage now.
Oh, hello, he's got... Oh, I wonder whether he was going to have a dive on the inside of Cassia Triangle. Chooses not of it. That's a battle for 7th position. There's 10 seconds between Donoso and Slicks. So Donoso has nothing to gain and the position to lose. And Failure is about 3 seconds back from here. Donoso has to be careful. We know he's got that 3-second penalty already, which could be contested post-race. But we will see. Donoso's got to be careful. Oh, I thought the tail just kicked out of the Force India there. So,
sorry, Brendan is going for a move on Danny on the inside of a hairpin. Hasn't quite made it stick. He was so close. He was side by side for a good second. So, Brendan's really got the pace. He's really putting Danny under huge pressure at the moment.
So, we've just seen the Renault Ghost. Oh, I thought Brendan was going to pile into the back of the house then. We've seen the Renault Ghost come past these guns. How distracting is that for a driver when you're concentrating so much on your own lines and defending as much as the Haas is, and you suddenly have a Ghost in front of you? How easy is it to just say, that's a Ghost, I can drive through it, and not just to kind of instinctively go, that's a car, I have to get in the slipstream of it?
Yeah, it will put you off. All these drivers, none of them obviously run racing line as it is banned. And it does, and it really affects you. Try time trialing on F1 against your best lap with the Ghost on, and see how many times you miss your braking point. That is how difficult it is. Because on time trial, you're obviously hitting 110% of your ability, and it's just difficult to spot your braking points. And you'll end up, more often than not, just flying off into the distance. So Daniel will be pleased he's overcome that little hurdle. It's not as effective for Brendan as he is obviously behind Danny, so that's what he's focusing on.
Speaking of which, I thought he was going to try and throw that on the inside of Degnan 1, thought better of it, and they are running out of laps now. There's only 3 laps to go, so Brendan will now have to really start putting a move on. We've actually got a battle. He's going to have a look at the inside of the hairpin. He tried that earlier before, a lap or so ago, probably tried it several laps now, and again it didn't pay off. But Brendan is maintaining all the pressure on Formula Danny. But we have got a battle formally behind Fabrizio Donoso. There it is. It's Donoso and
Brendan's going to have a move on Danny. He hits his wheel and they almost spin, but not quite. Sorry about that.
No, that's absolutely fine. I went to check on the battle that I thought was forming behind Donoso as the Segro there. Failure's only 1.5 down. Let's go. Oh, hello, Brendan. Whoa, my God,
that's a dive bomb and a half. Is Danny going to get the exit? He needs to get the exit. Brendan's going to have the DRS. No, he's not. Danny has. So, they both have. Oh, they both have because of
there was a Ghost there.
They just overtook. And
wow!
It lost for Danny.
It had to happen that way, though. Brendan had been stuck behind that house for so long. It had to go like that. And look at the gap that Brendan's already built up. You could just see already. I mean, all through the S's for the last 5-6 laps at least, that Red Bull was nailed to the back of the Haas. The Haas doesn't look like it has an answer at the moment. But let's just jump back. We've got 2 laps to go. 7, 8, 9 and 10 are within a fairly short distance of each other. And that's Segro having a look on the inside. Donoso's flying off. Oh no! Could this be the points?
Is Tim gonna gain an extra couple of points?
But,
no, not quite.
Well,
maybe.
yes, due to penalties. And Denosa's let him through. Denosa's let him through. Isaac Price is is a second down. Oh my goodness me. Oh, and you just seen Denoso throw it around. Has he been the potential points he's been hanging on to for so long in this race? Oh my goodness me. Could this spell disaster?
6 seconds of points as well, though.
Oh, okay. So maybe the penalties may not yet deny Fabrizio a single solitary point. Timp is up to 9th. He could possibly get that 8th out of Fela. We are in the final lap. Danny is already out of DRS range of Brendan Lee. 1.5 seconds separates those two. That battle, unless Brendan makes a mistake, is pretty much done. But Timp does have DRS on the Sauber ahead of him. Oh, Denoso, not again. That will put him out of the points. Unfortunately, Isaac Price is already on top of him.
No, it won't put him out of points yet. Isaac has 6 seconds, the same as Denoso.
Oh, so that was
6 apiece.
So therefore,
leveled it up now. Isaac is trying to move on the outside. Wow.
And oh dear, that's a slam dunk penalty. That's because that one will be contested almost certainly because he was forced onto the inside of the Cassie chicane. That one can pretty much be ignored. But that battle is not done between Bryce and Denoso. Not the first time these two have crossed swords, it has to be said. Let's just
struggling.
Yeah,
really struggling.
Those tyres are gone. Topar then, he has just come out of Spoon. He has just been yet again in a league of his own. I think everybody is going to be settling into where they are. So I think it's going to be safe to... I think Topar's actually cruising at this point. If you're like on red...
I'm surprised he hasn't nodded off. This has been a superb drive. Marcel Kiefer. What a drive from him as well.
Absolutely. But your winner here is Suzuka. He's already having a big wig on himself. Here's the Mercedes of Topar. Once again, a peerless race by him. Second position again on the podium. A great drive for the Haas of Marcel Kiefer. 15 seconds down from Topar, but a great effort for him. Brendan Lee gets himself on the podium with that incredible battle he had with Formula Danny. Max is going to be very happy with that 5th position, I would think, in the Sauber.
Hey.
Oh, Max?
Yeah, definitely. He's driven so well to come home P5, up 4 positions. Denoso was also my other driver of the day, had he have finished a bit higher up.
Slick has come across the line in 6th position. Here comes Segro. He was 10 seconds down from his teammate. Fader is going to hang on to that 8th from Tim. Tim did indeed cross the line 9th. Isaac Price in 10th. Fizzy actually got 11th. Fabrizio Donoso is 8 seconds down. His grip has gone. The car is just sliding around everywhere. I think it's fair to say Fabrizio Donoso has again, those points have just slipped through his fingers. He's actually sideways through that last turn, unless he's just drifting it for the sake of it. And that is everybody done. But yeah, what a shame for that race to end the way it did. I mean, you would have had a lot of penalties added at the end because of that 5-second stop go, and then because it wasn't served. But even still, because he was finished so far back, I don't think it's going to make a great deal of difference. But here it is again. Look at that. Topar, Marcel Kiefer, and a great drive by Brendan Lee. Oh, Hamish has already left the session.
Because I saved the result, so I can...
I see. Gotcha. Wow. Once again, Topar. That's going to be huge for him.
Yeah, I mean, what a race for him. I mean, he is now 10 points behind Danny. So
it's all to play for. Yeah,
it is all to play for, and he's got a really good chance now of winning this championship rather than just being a contender.
Yeah. He could well do it.
We are able to talk to Topar. He is in chat, so that is
wonderful. So let's head down to that then. Hooey! What an incredible race it has been. Just going to alter that. There we go. Right, let's see who wants to talk to us first. We've got Brendan, we've got Marcel, we've got Topar, we've got our top 3. So let's grab them.
For the first time, we actually get to interview the top 3.
Yeah. Oh, Formula Danny's in there as well. Right, I'm going to grab them all over in case they were having conversation among themselves. Right, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us in the commentary box. I must first speak to, well, I don't have to, but I'm going to, Brendan Lee. My God! We were following you for quite a long time with your incredible battle with Formula Danny, and then throwing it into the Cassia Triangle. That must have been. Had you kind of planned to make that move there, or was it a case of it's there now or never? Oh,
just left.
I know Brendan sometimes has a bit of trouble with microphones. Let's try him again. Oh, Brendan, there you are. Can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, I had to swap over mics.
Ah, okay. Did you catch everything I said there?
Yeah, I did, and it was a great battle with Danny. Obviously, made it as hard as he could for me, but I saw the chance, and it was almost like a Senna-esque, wasn't it? But luckily, he didn't turn on me this time, so it worked out okay.
Excellent stuff. So was it a case of it has to be there, or was it just a case of it's now or never?
Well, he was defending exceptionally well, and it was running out of time, wasn't I? So I just thought, why not? If I lock up, I just go straight over the runoff area. I don't lose anything, so I might as well go for it. But I'm kind of happy with P3, considering I didn't do a lap of online practice. I only did qualifying practice. That was literally what I've done, because I've been playing dirt rally all time.
Nice. Right, we've got quite a few drivers in here to speak to, so I'm going to make it short and sweet between each of you. Thank you for that, Brendan. Topar once again, absolutely untouchable at the front. Wow, you must be on top of the world right now.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a pretty good race. I wasn't as fast as I would have liked to on the first stint, but everything just clicked on the second stint and built some decent gaps. So yeah, it was a good one.
I was thinking you were 15 seconds ahead of anybody else, and you weren't as quick as you want to be. Oh damn! so again, it was just your pit strategy seemed to play perfectly. You came out in fourth, whereas I think pretty much everybody that pitted around you lost a considerable amount of positions just because how tight the pack was. Was that kind of just luck, or did you pit exactly when you wanted to?
Yeah, I pitted when I wanted to, but I think that was some luck. Just nailed my lap 10, was it? Yeah, lap 10, and had a great pit stop and got ahead of them. So yeah, got pretty lucky there. Brilliant stuff. Danny!
Yes.
Possibly not the result you were looking for. It's still a decent haul of points in fourth, but my God, the amount of... Your heart must be up in your mouth for the amount of time you're defending for.
To be honest, I would have been very happy with any podium position this weekend. I like this track, and honestly, I can't see where I lose that much amount of time compared to Topaz, Svensson, Marcel Kiefer, Impulsive Racer, Fab Racer. They were all faster than me during the practices, and it was a little bit frustrating for me because I'm not used to that. And I tried every setup that I could, but I feel like I couldn't improve in time, so maybe it was down on skill now. And in this track, I enjoy it, but I'm not that fast compared to the others. And I try to defend my position as hard as I can, because these 3 points can be crucial for me in the championship too against Topa. But I try to stay fair when Brandon was on the inside, even in the hairpin. I tried to leave a bit of room. I maybe didn't do sometimes. But if I defend the inner line maybe a little bit more aggressively, he would have maybe undercut me or just switch back, or that's how you call it.
Yeah.
So against a car that is more than a second faster than you, it's very, very hard to defend. And I think we didn't really have properly slipstream, but he was the guy on the track and he deserved this position, and I want to say thank you that he kept it clean and he tried his best. I tried my best as well, and it was an enjoyable battle, an enjoyable race.
It was brilliant fun for us to commentate on. I think a number of people watching really enjoyed it as well. Marcel, another great result from you, and some impressive driving. It's a shame that you joined our season so late. I think you could have really been up there fighting with the best. How was that race for you?
It was okay on the beginning. The first few laps, I think, from lap 1 to 3, Topper was way quicker than me. But after that, I managed to hold on to him despite of having the slipstream bug, because Sven left. And then I didn't have slipstream anymore. That was quite frustrating, but in the end it was okay. P2. On my second stint I had a bit of bad luck with the traffic, but yeah, and after that, after I secured P2 again, I thought like put down in the poor mixture and just save the tires because the other guys can't reach you anymore. So GG to Topa, and also a great recovery drive again from Brandon.
Absolutely. And speaking of recoveries, we have to come over to our last driver of tonight, Timp. Goodness me. You don't often like to make it difficult for yourself, don't you?
Yeah, it's bad, man. Like, another huge hit about the title fight, but it is what it is. And not again, it came from incident, but I had like no chance to avoid. I don't know what to say. Like, seriously, like, I'm so unlucky.
But you still managed to recover from last to ninth in that drive. I mean, do you feel that you could have been again fighting for the podiums? Where were you kind of aiming for before tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I had a good race pace, so I expected to be like, after I qualified P8, I still knew that I had good race pace, so I expected to be at least in front of Danny or something like that. So yeah, at least P5 will be there, I guess, without any major mistakes. But yeah.
Gotcha. Well, 4 rounds to do. It's still all to play for, but that is going to wrap it up for now. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us. Thank you to our drivers for putting on an incredible show. Thank you to Hamish for being with me in the box, as always.
No problem.
Thank you to those that have been with us throughout the stream. It is a great pleasure to put on a show for you guys, and we will see you back here for more AOR action. Thank you very much, and good night.